Welcome to Sevi and Evie Talk Global Compliance, the podcast where navigating the complex world of compliance becomes an exciting journey.
This is Evie Wenting, Ethical Edge Experts, and I am here with Sevi, and it's Sevi and Evie Talk about Global Compliance. Welcome, Sevi, back to our podcast recording. So excited to have you today.
Thank you, Evie, for your invitation, and always excited to share the knowledge and experience, and also more excited to share the integrity moment experience of mid-level managers that we have the last time conversation. After the sessions which we conduct together with you and the focus group session I had with them, show that they see the ethics not like a theoretical things. They see the ethics like a principle which starts from abstract to the more practical and is their job, and to make it more like part of really operational side of all of this stuff. So it turns into the topic for them, like they have to apply the integrity in daily life, in their professional day-to-day decision making, and real workplace pressures also, which really challenge for the ethical behavioral with deadlines, targets, and KPIs. Many of them, for example, our sales team, they came to me and asked to think about the project, how to identify the ethical salespersons on the basis of the KPIs. That was really a surprise as our goal from the beginning theory, but to put in the table as a practical tool for them. I think we did it. If we got this kind of question, just they started to think about how to measure the ethical behavioral of their team through the KPIs and make it more tangible. So on that side, I felt that I was lacking of the information or knowledge experience, and why not to start to think about the more measurable behavioral metrics. So in the recruitment part also, in many times people trying to focus on the professional and the technical and the certification skill side of the people, saying that this is really recommended one, but we don't deep dive into the behavioral side, because behavioral side could be like identified only on the basis of the specific metrics for the ethical behavioral, which sometimes recruitment. Have you ever heard about that? We are hiring the people, but we are also scoring their ethical behavioral. When I have a conversation with HR people, they usually trying to show me some kind of platforms where they put the questions, where they measure the, like, for not all position, for specific position like high level and the top position, they measure the leadership skills of that person, but it doesn't mean that this person like ethically like
Right.
acceptable, for that reason. Go ahead, please.
I think when it comes to ethical leadership and integrity, or leading with integrity, it has not become yet the center of everything we do and what we measure, right? You measure leadership skills, like how much sale revenue you can get from a department, product, employees, but you don't ask questions if it was done with. It's like two separate things. It's almost like you have a legal department to handle things when it's not done a certain way, and we don't concentrate on doing it the right way. So I think we have to have that conversation. I'm glad that we're talking about it. I think the programs like the Integrity Playbook, where we teach managers to lead with integrity, which means many different things. It's not a one thing, but it's becoming the part of how you do business and how you show up for your employees. When that happens, you will see the results that you are seeing, right? They're asking for guidance. And I think that response is amazing for the beginning pilot group, that now they're coming to you, which before they weren't coming to you. asking questions and asking on how to do it certain way or better way. The next step of that is help them go to leading conversations and showing up for their employees. So then their employees are more aware about ethics, compliance, and integrity. And as they see that throughout the process, things will become part of your company's DNA, and we will elevate the behaviors in your organization because everyone is doing it. It's just that is the expectation, that is the ground zero. Everyone should behave in a certain way. And people like to do what other people are doing and feeling good about working for an organization where the expectation, right? Like that you're going to get treated certain way, that if you have concerns, that your leaders are taught on how to listen to those concerns and then how to handle them, right? There's many snap judgments, decisions that could go wrong and could land you in jail or on the headline. But if you have these conversations with your entire organization, with all the leaders and all the employees, you're bound to have less, right? So that's really, really exciting. So I'm happy that you're feeling this way, that they're coming to you and having the conversations. I want to talk about like the next step, what you see you would like to happen in your organization now that we've done the pilot group. What are you feeling like would be the next steps for you?
After having this session, I noticed that a lot of questions regarding the implementation of these all integrity moment sessions, disclosure forms, came up like intensively, and also very great and interesting question. One of them I just mentioned about the KPIs, because although managers are really aware about the ethical leadership criteria, policies, rules, but they want to see the quantitative metrics, how they measure, because this is also responsibility for them as well, not only from the policy side but also from the moral side, as a human, just not to be biased in the decision, not to be in the middle of like dilemma situation. Usually they it's like human like nature, they people prefer to have the clear roles, responsibilities, and clear metrics in order to avoid the biased decision making, in order to have the unfair approach and etc., like discriminative approach and etc. So for that, yeah.
I was just gonna say, while you were saying that, it popped into my mind to say, like, so do we, because people like to have clear expectations, do we need to put ethical leader in the job description now? Is that the next step?
I think yes, and if we can do this, it will be really pilot in my country. Nevertheless, when we have the conversation, the HR people trying to show their survey result, their different XYZ platform behavioral scoring, but not only for every position, but for high level positions, CXC level, top management, in order to show the like employer that this person is also qualified as a high score in the leadership skills and etc. from behavioral, and this survey result show that he's okay, just he's fine to manage the people in that department and etc. But for me it doesn't make a sense. It's like some kind of okay platforms, but I think if we have to not to refer to automated way score, which will take an hour or 30 minutes in the onboarding just to identify that this person really fit to that position for the leadership skills. But the ethical leadership, it's a really more different. You may ask that how to measure if this is a new joiner or still in the onboarding, how to get the records from the previous employer.
Yeah,
It's
that never
also,
happens.
yeah. Yeah, it's very easy just to call and ask the network people about that person, which is, I am sure that it happened not only in my country but in the US, in
Yeah.
different kind
You
of
know,
labels
now,
as
now
well.
that we're talking about this specific point, I want to go and research all the different job postings. We should do that and then come back to see what we found in your country and then in the United States for giggles, right? So we need to research how many job postings say expectation of you being an ethical leader within the job posting, and then on the inside of the company, you know, is that in your job description, ethical leader? My feeling is that we've concentrated for all these years on specific duties, and for whatever reason, ethical leadership duty was not part of the picture. I think it's some of those things that's maybe expected but not said, but or not written down. And I feel like now people, if they want to see exactly what their job is, like you said a little while ago, you know, they want to see it, they want it written down. We need to start writing it down on where it matters, that that's the expectation. You are expected to be an ethical leader, period. And that's part of your job, period.